Welcome back to Transport Fever 2. I am Rever. Railroad Tycoon Rever. Not feeling so much that way. Mostly because of this. It definitely does not seem to balance out very well as to where it sends stuff. Or at least that's not what I'm expecting it to balance out to. Like if we pin this one for a second and we come here. So here's our oil. And again, we're just, it doesn't seem to be, I didn't let too much time, maybe a year pass, maybe less. And, it just keeps wanting to make more and more oil for Fuel Oil Rochester. I don't know what the mechanic is at this point that would say you need to send so much more to the one. Now, the other ones are getting picked up more quickly, but it's not like, we just have a lot of trains that are just partially full. Same thing when we come down here and look at our fuel, which train's this guy. See, he's the crude oil. He's only going to drop off 6 crude oil, yet we have all this crude oil sitting here waiting. Now, I don't know, again, does it have to do with the two sides of the train track? Don't know, but it doesn't seem like that would make a whole lot of sense. Why not just put more on the other side of the railroad track? And then this guy doesn't have that problem, right? There's only one railroad track, but we just keep getting more and more oil for Des Moines. So what I thought of doing is coming up and basically getting another train. Now, I don't know if this will cause too many problems. I think the Des Moines train is heading back, so it's probably, there's the Des Moines train. I kind of waited for that to happen. Is heading back, and he's got a full load of fuel, so I thought, well, you know what, we really probably need to take advantage of those full loads of fuel. Let's see how much money we would need. I think we're still making money, but if we were to buy a vehicle, I just wanted to take a look at what the old Baldwin here would cost us. So it's $1 million for the Baldwin, but he should be able to carry even more carts, right? If we were to, let's see how many we can put. There we go. He just got the mediocre, and he would be able to carry 42. Do we want to go one more? So that would be $2.5 million. I don't even know if we could borrow that much money at this point. Let's go back over here and Yeah, we could, but we just got a good chunk, so let's get $2.5 million. Close that, come back into here. Buy it before we lose our money. And then we're going to set him to Des Moines. All right, and then hopefully, now we're back up to $9.5 million in debt. And I'm not sure that what we did is even going to be that much more profitable, other than, it's definitely, we would definitely be able to, this Des Moines line definitely seems to be a good one for us. If we look at our finances, see that? So I'd like to take advantage of that fact, as opposed to fighting the system in a sense. Like I already have the trains on this Norfolk line that are running with very little fuel going back because of what we did. So in other words, we were definitely running more efficiently in some ways before, but at the same time, I don't, this is just a bit of a mystery to me. Why does it keep, to the point where you get this, some items are lost. Is that really the game mechanic? Is that, and I guess I definitely would welcome your comments as to what I'm missing. I mean, I could increase the number of fuel deliveries or oil deliveries that would end up going all the way down to here and then coming all the way back. Let's see, how are we doing on Rochester? Yeah, I mean, we definitely could use, more fuel line, more fuel trains there, but how are we doing on our fuel pickup? See, they're not going to have any extra here. There's one leaving now. They're not going to have any extra here. And what we should probably consider doing is when we're ready to, let's see, what are the details? Yeah, see, this is getting to be bad shape. Age 27 years. I think these vehicles are supposed to last 20. Or is it 30? So we could talk about replacing some of these and then upping, just outright modifying them. I don't like the way the game, if you go to send it back to the depot, you lose anything that was in there. So I'm hoping that that's not the end of the world. So, in other words, I really am going to probably sit here for a few minutes and just sort of pause the video and see if this doesn't correct itself a little bit as this, we now have 2 trains, right? 4, it says. Well, that's, 4 destinations, Des Moines. Does that make sense? No. So does that, okay, so there we go. So that's that. We'll have to see. Like I said, it's just something that I'm a bit confused about. Why are we just keep making crude oil to send to Rochester when we need it to go here? It seems like the game is fighting us unnecessarily. And I may even, while I'm sitting here, I may even try to read up on this and go from there. But I wanted to show you guys me buying that extra train so that hopefully we'll get a little more money coming in from Des Moines there and a little bit more oil coming to here. But it just seems like we're just not getting enough fuel for both of these lines for some reason. And it's because too much of it wants to go to the other place. All right. Well, anyway, I will look into this a little bit, and I will be back when either something exciting happens or enough time passes. So I will see you in a little bit. I wanted to come back for a minute to try something. The only thing it's annoying me, this 2-sided station thing, and this just keeps happening and keeps happening. So what I was thinking of is opening up this line. And if you look, both the yellow of Des Moines and this one are both going to here. Now, I do have a track there. So what I was thinking of doing, this is Rochester West Station, is switching this one, what happened there, to 2. And see if that makes any difference. Is there some balancing between here and here? But other than that, I guess we're doing a little bit better in the sense that we've now used up, you can see here, we don't have 100 fuel to go to Des Moines, but at the same, and this train just left, but at the same time, so we're getting a little bit more to Norfolk. Oh, but look at this. Yeah, so this guy, let's just see what happens here with this, right? And I don't plan on recording too long. I'm going to let time play forward. I've just been sitting here slowly watching it. Our trains really, once in a while, 2 of them get to the same place at the same time, but we're doing pretty well overall. Like you can see, we get little things like this. I guess I could put another signal here, but then realistically, by the time this one starts out again and this one turns around and comes back out, this guy's just getting up there anyway. Like another signal here wouldn't really do us any big benefit. So which one are you? You're the Norfolk fuel. So you can see this, at least this Norfolk oil fuel line will get a few more. So I think things are improving, but I'm really curious to see if switching these from 1 and 2 has an impact. And what I might end up doing is making another Country View crude that goes back and forth, or like a second one to go to stop 1, if this actually makes any impact. Because I don't really want to mess with these too much. I mean, we may put more trains on there eventually, but I'm really counting on just upgrading the trains, I'm hoping. I don't want 7 million trains when the bigger trains are coming type thing. So at this point, I'm almost looking at this as just a learning experience. We don't have 10 tons of money yet anyway, so I've just been repaying some of the loan. And I don't see a huge amount of things to spend money on at this moment. We could always reborrow the money if we decide to do something. So let me just play this out for a minute, and I'll come back hopefully with these same exact screens open, and we'll see if this increases the amount for this Country View crude and cuts down on the Rochester one being an exclamation mark. All right, I'll see you guys in a few minutes again. Well, I'm not going to sit here and say that it made the problem worse. It didn't make it any better. And I hate to sit there and say that a game is dumb, but this is certainly dumb, right? Now, maybe, and the reason I say that is because maybe I just don't understand why it would do this, but yeah, it's just dumb. It's not. Why wouldn't you put more view crude to this one So like I said, I think if anything, we've made it worse. So what I would like to do is come back over here and switch this back to line 1 so that at least, because I don't know if you just saw that, but it started saying, well, this platform is too full to even have stuff. So yeah, it just doesn't really make sense. And I was even sitting there, and that's my opinion. Again, let me know why this makes sense that you would do it this way. Other than, I guess, is there just some kind of a game balancing where they don't want you to take stuff from these complicated situations? Like this whole thing to get oil down to here just seems to have made everything massively less efficient because this guy won't ship as much to this Rochester fuel refinery. And if you look, the fuel for Norfolk, the shipping is going down. Like it's but I've been watching this. It's like for every one of these here, it still sends like 2 or 3 over to here. So it's like I said, maybe it'll make it better when I switch it back the other way. Like you can see we already have 7, but then yeah, it really is bizarre to me why you would. First of all, why this ship to the different lines and prevent other lines from getting that stuff like that? I'm not sure that I like that mechanic to begin with, but yeah, well, it's good. It's a good learning experience for us at that point, for me in particular. And maybe you guys know all of this stuff, but at this point, I'd have to say, yeah, definitely avoid trying to ship to 2 different cities. Because it's just really not doing well. And were we better off if we had just taken trucks at that point and not tried to do it with trains? Would that work if we had like a cargo station here? It's something that I'd be willing to explore. We're still making money, but we're just a lot of trains. If we come over here and look at our lines, look, 0 fuel being delivered down here. So that's completely made this one bad. And because we just upgraded those to the better vehicles. And then at the same time, this oil fuel Norfolk, you can see, is not, we were running at like full all the time. So let's make it even wider to see what happened there. That's weird. Look at that. We just have this symbol here. Let's close it and open it again. No, that is weird. But anyway, yeah, we just made ourselves a lot less efficient. Now, are we making more money? I don't really even think so. Let's come over to the chart. We are making money. This was, 3.5 million. Our expenses, this year we didn't make quite as much. But you can see back in these years we were making, pretty good money most years. Maybe we're doing a little bit better. But at the same time, it feels we're definitely less efficient, right? We're better because we have more trains on the line, but you can see here, that we're just not as efficient. We're just not able to get. Now, look, this one's up to 18. That's as high as I've ever seen it. So maybe, I don't know, maybe switching those back and forth was the way to go. And like I said, definitely welcome your suggestions. I looked online a little bit without watching like a bunch of other people's videos to see exactly what they did, which I'm willing to do, but it's just a little bit too time consuming to comb through a bunch of videos hoping somebody has this same exact issue here with the cargo like we are. So yeah, I don't know. Now, the other thing that's kind of happening, I think, is that we could certainly talk about like upgrading some trains, and I did pay off some money, so I don't think that this is as dire as it may look. We're back down to 7,000. And what I was thinking of doing, rather than upgrading trains, was potentially, because this Rochester is such a problem, do we just put another train on this oil fuel Rochester? We already have 3. Now, the problem is I would want to buy a better train than we have here just because, yeah. Or do we just upgrade these as we get the money at that point? Like, can we come in here and say, do we send it to the depot? Yeah, it's a bummer to send them to the depot because they lose all their stuff. I guess we can come to manage vehicles. But I think they lose their stuff either way, don't they? So if we replace the selected vehicle, how much would that cost us? Because I would want go to here, then probably do like the same thing I did before, which was... Let's take that just till it gets to mediocre. So that would be 2 million that we would need to replace this guy. And that keeps going up because he's getting older. Now the other thing is, yeah, we replace the oldest train first. So do we borrow 2 million? We have to borrow a little bit more than 2 million in order to get there. But other than that, let's just see if we can sit. Yeah, of course, it's going to go down because every time you go to do something when you're talking to people on YouTube, it's going to go the opposite direction, right? But we have been, like I said, we have been making a little bit of money. And I don't know if we're, I definitely would increase, I think the next thing to do would be to replace each of these trains. I don't necessarily want to go into a huge amount of debt to do it because that's, it's not going to necessarily make us more money, though it will a little bit. And it certainly seems to be one of our bigger money makers if we come to here. Right, and we come to finances. Look at this. See, so like if we were going to upgrade one of the lines and see if we could cut down on this number here or change that somehow, like it's because again, I know there's a part of me that's fighting something that I don't understand. Like there's definitely a logic there as to why they would do that. Is it because and I even tried to look here, by the way, is it because Rochester needs so much more? 58, but then wouldn't that balance out against Des Moines needing 84? Like you would wonder why that, right? Like it doesn't, like it's, what is it basing sending this stuff, or is it just a matter of we need to get more of this stuff flowing? All right, say like we already jumped up to this much. Now that we're up that much, let's 1, 2, 3. Hopefully we'll get this guy bought. Train 4. Now, let's go back to manage vehicles. Yeah, Rochester train, replace. Yeah, I don't like that it... All right, we'll go... There we go. So now that train... Now the problem with that is he's going to be a lot faster than the other ones. But I don't think there's too much we can do about that. Now, what I'll probably do is keep an eye on this for at least the next few minutes, and kind of it's going to be a broken up episode because I think we're in the point where we kind of need to replace some of those older trains. We're, not entirely, but if nothing else, just to improve the efficiency. If we take a look back at the line, see now this, not Des Moines. Yeah, see this guy has 6 on there where these guys only have 4. So hopefully that will increase the rate and increase that. So I think what I'll try to do is play enough time forward here. You can see I'm on double fast forward as it is. And I'll just see if we can't do something to increase this. Hopefully getting a little bit bigger trains on there will be the right way to go. We'll get the newer, faster trains, and we'll get 6 of them on each of them. But I think I can't really go into too much more debt to do that. Okay, well, let me come back in a few minutes when these lines have been upgraded, and we'll take a look at this. If this starts improving miraculously, I will be right back. All right, see you guys in a bit. At this point, things are still not getting any better. But we did have an industry upgrade, so we now are making 200, but it hasn't made a difference in the last 5 minutes or so, and I was doing it on 4 times speed for a little while there. But yeah, it just insists on shipping all this stuff to Oil Fuel Rochester. So what I'm thinking of doing is coming over here and managing this line and just get rid of this stop them from going to Rochester Fuel. Is this guy, which one's he? He's Fuel Oil Norfolk. You. Okay, so I think this would be a good time to just get rid of this part of the line. So now it's only the trains, let's hit escape. It's only the trains that would come in here and fill up with fuel. So I'm not sure how well it'll balance out, but these guys should all be bringing, in theory, enough oil to go there. So now this one should no longer demand the oil. So my hope is that the Des Moines line we'll get enough oil to be brought over here. Now the problem is, like, this guy's sitting here waiting, and does this guy even? Yeah, he does have stuff. So now the other problem is now we have the Norfolk line train sitting here waiting as well. So what I think I'd like to do, because this may cause a little bit more waiting, is I was kind of putting this off. We don't have any trucks going that way anyhow, so I'm going to put another signal in here so that we can stage another train. Now this, okay, that's kind of fine. Hopefully they don't back up into that intersection is my fear. But now this is going to mess up the timing of everybody else down here because this guy's waiting. So it's sort of like, it definitely might want to put another station here, but I'm not sure that that's really necessary at this point. Like I said, it's been quite a while in the game. We're really just not making money. So I think we just need to punt and maybe completely punt. I don't want to give up on this idea entirely, but the game just really wants us to take fuel oil to Rochester. It doesn't want us to take that much from here to here for whatever reason. So it doesn't want us to work on Des Moines at that point. Now the Des Moines line, let's make sure they're gonna. I just want to manage the line for a second. Yeah, they're going to go to Rochester West with a load of oil. Now the only other thing, yeah, let's see. These guys? This one's pretty good, I think. Yeah, so I think what I can do is country view should be fill up. And what happened there? There we go. And then he should definitely fill up at Rochester West. But I don't know if that's going to cause a problem, but I don't necessarily think so. We'll see what happens. And then I think the thing we need to do is if we do get enough money, and maybe we should even just do it now, is maybe put another train on Rochester fuel oil. It's certainly a profitable thing to do rather than even waiting to rather than just waiting for the upgrades that we were talking about a minute ago. So let's just go check. I should remember this, but I don't. Oh yeah, we got a Mogul. So is Mogul less expensive? No, Mogul's more expensive, but it goes 75 and has a lot more power. So let's see if we add a Mogul. Oop, not two of them. How many tank cars could this guy hold? And I don't think we have enough money. Wait, he went to mediocre. Okay, so he's 2 train cars before he goes to mediocre. That doesn't make a lot of sense, does it? Why would this guy... Standard freight locomotive... Power's less, tractive. Okay, so this guy doesn't have that much more tractive effort. Yeah, the weight. This guy's a lot heavier for some reason, which doesn't make a lot of sense, does it? Oh, this guy has 8 wheels. I guess that may be part of his thing. This guy would last longer. Yeah, it seems like maybe this guy would be the one to stick with just because he's less expensive and it seems like he has a better tractive effort anyway. Now, I'm not sure exactly what good means down here. Okay, so it just means he's still in good shape, I guess. All right, so let's see. Is that 6? Yes. So 2,200. Can we borrow? Oh, good Lord. Yeah, that would be all the rest of our money. Oh, I didn't mean to repay that. All right, so let's head back to here real quick, and then we're going to buy this guy, and we're going to put him on Oil Fuel Rochester. Now, it'll be a little while before because if you guys remember, he goes all the way down to there and picks up like nothing, and then he has to go all the way back. And I'm not sure how he, is spaced out with the other ones, but yeah, this is, I think we'll be in good enough shape. Now, I know we went into like full debt again. And what I would do at this point is I think we're still going to make money here. Let's matter of fact, let's get out of full debt. Is just see how that impacts us and see if this doesn't improve between, now we just have these oil trains dropping the crude off and then heading back. And then, the Des Moines train should come in here. This is the Rochester. Good, see? So we got this down to 121. And we'll just see if having these trains bring the oil back and forth to here, and then any train that needs stuff will just drop its own stuff off, basically. So we'll see if we can get Oil Norfolk to be a little bit more efficient at some point here, which is to get these balanced out so that they have stuff. So let me once again play some time forward, and I'm not feeling too bad. I mean, I'm feeling like this is sort of a strange experiment and certainly not what I expected, but we'll have 4 Rochester trains on there, and they're a profitable line. So I have a feeling that that'll be good. And I'll come back at some point, not too long, when it's worked itself out. I may or may not buy and upgrade those other 2 trains on the Rochester line, but I don't think I would do anything else too much at this point. And I did take a look at this, and Rochester could definitely use more, so I don't think that that's a problem from like increasing the capacity of that Rochester line. So let's see what happens with this. See if this starts. I'd really like to get this backed up some, and it looks like this is doing better too right off the bat. I think these trains could get up to like 45 on the one bigger train that we have. So let's see. All right, I will talk to you guys in a minute. Well, no doubt, the game did not like us trying to get fancy. If we take a look, for whatever reasons that I don't really fully understand, we are doing much, much better. Now, the Country View crew doesn't have anything, but that's just probably a timing. So these guys are just running back and forth, dropping off as much crude oil here as they can, which is definitely an improvement. Look, 142 rate. So we're definitely dropping off a bunch of crude, and then it's getting converted, and this is much more balanced at this point. Now, I don't know if I quite let enough time to go where it would be like completely steady state, but these guys definitely seem to have enough fuel as they pull in here and head back out the other over to here, and then they kind of sit and wait a little bit depending on the exact train because there's not quite enough, but they seem to get enough fuel that they have been taking full load. So if we look at most of these other ones, they have pretty close to full loads here. Now, what is this guy? Is this the one? Why are you not? Where are you at? Just want to see. Okay, so he's on the part of the trip where he wouldn't have anything. He's a little too loud to sit there and talk near. So that makes sense that this one isn't 100% full at this moment. But if you look, all the other trains are pretty darn close to full, which is good. So one of the things we definitely need to do is, I think, get some of these upgraded. But just taking these 2 trains off of there increased our efficiency dramatically. You wouldn't think it, or I wouldn't have thought it, but it certainly seems to be the case. Now, there's one thing I want to do before I end the episode here. That's to head all the way down the other end, and I've noticed that we have this problem. So this guy is sitting here and waiting for this guy to come out. So we kind of have an issue where we're not getting enough fuel oil, but I want to get this to be a double track a little bit further, kind of on both ends, so that at least he's not waiting for him to come all the way back out again. So let's go ahead and from like some point here, right? Now we should be able to do this without. It's a pretty expensive looking track, isn't it? But we're just gonna have to bite the bullet on the expense. Now I don't think there's any real benefit to double doing our thing here, so we'll come back a little bit. let's put a signal in here. Signal there. I don't think we really need that signal there. And yeah, then we can get rid of, well, do we just leave that crossing? I guess I'm so used to workers and resources where if you left a train like that, it would mess somebody else up. But I don't think they can get in and out any which way but the way we want them to. And yeah, you know, I do want to put like a signal just in the middle. Not that I think we need it, but might as well just keep them moving through there a little bit quicker. There, that'll speed up that route a fair amount. And the other thing I wanted to do was come over to here, kind of do the same thing. In that they're just, they're just waiting here an awful long time. So let's see, which way is this all flowing? If we look at Rochester fuel, so they're coming in this way and then back out this way. So we'd have to, this is sort of on the wrong side, isn't it? I think we'll stick with it. Meaning I'm going to have to fix that track down the other end there. That's good enough for a minute. But we don't have much money, do we? Let me, oh geez, that went way down. Let me, oh, I didn't want to repay. Well, I couldn't repay anyway. Yeah, let's get this done. Kind of have that city road right there. I think for now we'll just bring this guy in, and then let's go, before we do too much. Yeah, see, this guy's looping, but he'll have to come across. So do we demolish, I think, a little bit? Yeah, there's no advantage to it doing it like it is right now. In other words, get rid of that bit. And then there we go. All right, so they'll just have to cross. Yeah, not ideal, but it'll work. And then that guy, we shouldn't need one here, but we should stop them from running into each other like that, right? What's that? Yeah, that's before that. Good. And then we should, just to make sure they go the right way, which they will, and not jam each other up too much. I don't know if they would. This. I'll just put another one down there so that, but I don't even think we really need that. There we go. So that should speed up that line a little bit. Probably in some ways not worth the money, but if you look, it's our most lucrative line, and it's sort of cut down on its how much we were making. But I also think that's because adding that fourth train, it goes the wrong darn direction. And then on top of that, so it takes this line a little bit extra long to make some money. And then I think with that, all that waiting that we were doing down on this end, I don't think that was helping. So hopefully we'll never have a train waiting here is my hope. So hopefully that goes. So how's our lines doing at this point? Yeah, Des Moines has a little period of time when they might have zero fuel. What are you doing? Okay, so you're waiting on oil, and you just got full, and you're heading back up from dropping off Des Moines, I bet. And that's where I plan on him being empty. Good, and then these guys are pretty close to full. not 100%. Are they... Well, this guy didn't quite get to 100% before he gave up, and then this guy, he's full. Why does he have 0 fuel? Because he's returning from the city. Okay, that's perfect. That's exactly what I expect anyway. And then this guy, yeah, he's waiting on whatever fuel is going to be made right here, and that's a good thing. All right, so I think that's about as efficient as we're going to get this little setup for the time being. But I'm happy, compared to the beginning of the episode, I'm quite happy with how things are flowing now. And we'll see what happens. And, you know, I'll play a little bit of time between the episodes. Look, we got 2 million. Yeah, so we should probably repay. There we go. Good. We're back down to 7 million. So we're raking in some cash. Doesn't show up too much right here, but hopefully now that these train lines are much more full, and I think that's the name of the game with hard mode, is that you get these, keep these guys as full as you can get them, as often as you can get them, and look, even this other country view, according to this anyway, we're making money. Is that, yeah, you know, look, as soon as we cut that down and started making money, which, you know, I just really didn't expect that. I'm thinking that it's, yeah, it sort of seems odd to me that you wouldn't drop things off more quickly. And then this will be one of our inefficiency problems we could talk about in future episodes, upgrading this so that these guys are never waiting there too long. And then I definitely want to upgrade some of these trains. Maybe we'll do one last train upgrade. All right, this is Rochester fuel oil. He's empty. Is this? No, not Send a Depot. Let's go to this train 5. Let's go to manage vehicle. Train 5. Oh, we need to borrow money. Table. All right, we'll borrow that much for now. I don't want him to fill up with stuff. Oh, he's going to fill up with stuff, isn't he? Let's see. Is there another one? Oh, manage vehicles. Yeah, upgrade. Yeah, we'll stick with the Baldwin. I'm not sure if that's 100% the best, and then we'll do 6 of these. 1, 2, 6. There we go. Now, did that empty him? No, but he didn't get as much as he could have. But that's okay. At least it didn't. At least we know it didn't empty him out and cost us all that. So there we go. So I'll definitely, in between the episodes, probably keep, get the other one. If we look at our Rochester line here, we got one more older train, number 4, and we'll get him upgraded. Now, what's he waiting for? Yeah, so we still have this waiting going on down here, but I don't know if we gave it enough time to really space it out. Yeah, see, this guy's just about to leave, so hopefully they'll find a good spacing, which they should be able to, now that we doubled that track up. Yeah, and then they just have to drop off their oil, wait for it to be reprocessed, and then head back out the other way. So it just seems to be the more efficient way of doing it. I wouldn't have thought that, but hey, I've learned, which always helps. All right, well, there we go. So let me know your comments, and if you understand that mechanism. Like, I feel like I understand it a little bit better, yet I'm still confused as to why taking this guy off of there would make such an efficiency difference for us. So I will be back when I've upgraded a few trains, and nothing much more than that. And we'll talk about the next thing to do, because I don't think I'm going to mess with the oil too much more in the next episode. But let me get your guys' comments first. All right. Thanks, guys. Take care and have a good day. Bye-bye.